You've seen some amazing things because you've been going around visiting with internet interest groups of all kinds. Of all kinds.
Of all kinds.
That must be a fun project. How many groups did you meet for Connected?
Oh my God. You know, at a certain point, I kind of lost track because I was photographing it from 2013 to 2016. But I would say probably anywhere from 80 to 100 groups or so. But yeah, there was a lot of different groups and locations, and it was just such an amazing experience.
How did you get this idea? I mean, you proposed this, right, to Visco, and they said, okay, go do it, or had you been doing this all along?
So what happened was in 2012, I was working as a social media editor at Time Magazine, and you know, I had studied photography. It had always been my thing, but I never really thought that I could make a living doing this. So just from the daily grind and that kind of stuff, I had kind of lost myself as a photographer a little bit. And I forced myself one day to think about what am I interested in?
I hear somebody. Who's that?
That's Sasha.
Hi, Sasha.
Anyway, so I forced myself. Speaking of dogs.
Oh, I see. There's a lot of different. There's a lot of different dogs in here. Yeah. I see.
She's.
Oh, she is sweetie. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so while doing that, it kind of forced me to think about what I wanted to photograph next and really go in specifically thinking about what I wanted to do. So I thought about, what am I interested in? And I had just gotten Sasha, actually. And I thought, well, maybe there's something to explore here with different kinds of animal owners in New York City. Maybe there's a particular social group or whatever it may be. Through the process of doing that, I started working on a project called Doggies and Tiaras, which focused in on like this specific dog social scene in New York City where they have dog beauty pageants. They have a Girl Scout for dogs. They have all these different type of events that most people wouldn't know about for your small dog. But while I was working on that, I saw this one Corgi beach meetup that they have every year in Southern California. And I thought, and you see these photographs, I mean, like BuzzFeed typically does a roundup of like Instagram photos taken at this particular meetup. And it's just like the most picturesque thing you could ever imagine. And really like Corgis, California, it's like internet gold. So I saw these photos and I thought,
by the way,
go to something like that.
Corgis with little tiny short legs on the beach. Now that is internet gold.
It's pretty amazing. It's pretty special. And so I was like, there has to be something like that here in New York. And so, you know, I'm sitting at my desk and I'm kind of Googling things and I find this Staten Island pug meetup. And it just so happens the stars are aligning for me that this very weekend they were having their annual pool party. They've apparently been doing it for years. And despite the fact that I didn't have a pug, I wasn't going with my dog, they allowed me to come and photograph. And while I originally went there being interested in our relationship with animals in a kind of a cultural context, I left there being more interested in how the internet was facilitating these relationships. Like someone had gotten married through this meetup, and all of these people, probably 30 some odd strangers and 30 pugs in a stranger's backyard, because of the internet was something that was pretty extraordinary to me. It just as someone whose job it was to monitor internet trends and understand how we are connected by it. And it was also just like visually pretty amazing. And so from there, I just found myself going to more and more meetups. I went to a few seances with a Wicca meetup. I went dumpster diving with a Freegan meetup, and I felt like I had something special there. And I wanted it to be separate from sort of like I do a lot of more journalism and editorial related work. So I wanted something separate from that. And that's where Visco came in, and they had this really special grant. These kind of opportunities don't exist for artists very much anymore. And they kind of took this idea and helped me bring it to life and gave me the resources to travel and be able to kind of extend the vision in ways that I never thought possible.
That's really cool. I've used ViscoCam for years. I really love it. on iOS, and I think they have Android now as well.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think it's great that they're giving back a little bit and funding artists.
Totally.
Yeah.